Charlotte Owens doing the signature activity report for assignment 9. We've titled that report a self-check report because it puts us in check with ourselves when we're deciding about our morals, our values, and our ethics. Before we begin, I'd like to say that we did secure a consent form from the Stolmans to be filmed. And starting from my right, we have Shane Stolman, we have Haven Stolman, Shantae Stolman, and Haley Stolman. And together they make up the Stolman family. Before we get to the ethics and the values of which we're to talk about today, I just want to get a little clarification on the family dynamics. In other words, how is the home constructed? Who runs it? Who takes the orders? Who follow them? Is it a concerted effort among all of them to keep it going? How exactly do they make this family function? And I'll start out with, maybe Shane, would you like to answer that, address that issue, the dynamics of the family?
Sure. Well, obviously Shantae and I take a large part in running the family. The girls have their share of responsibility as well. We've had to work well together, but, I don't know, Shantae, what do you think?
Talk to me a little bit about the schedules of the family. How do you start in the morning?
Well, in the morning, both the girls start schools at different times. So Shane and I have to work together with their after-school schedule. So I'll do one drop-off, he'll do another drop-off, so I can get out early because Haven has cheerleading practice 3 times a week. So to make our schedules work, we just have to really help each other out.
Okay, and as you can see, we're sitting here. That was the reason for the trophies, because in a minute they want to explain to you a little bit about their curriculum. Okay, now, regarding the attributes, Shantae, could you tell me about the awards and the letters and the attributes and some of the clubs or pleasurable clubs that they may be in?
Well, besides school, they're actively involved in cheerleading and chess and gymnastics. So cheerleading takes up a lot of time, and then both the girls are really active in the chess club.
Okay, so when you say chess, I think of people that really are able to concentrate. Do they have a problem in concentration in any area? Because I'm sure with chess, it's going to require a lot of that. Do you, Haven?
Yes. Chess is a game to learn you about patience.
Okay.
And to plan what your next move will be.
Like in a strategy.
Like a strategy, yes. And at school, I was in the chess club. So every Wednesday after school, I'd go to chess.
Mm-hmm.
And so
what was the concept of learning, though? I never got chess because I never understood the concept. Take me back to the beginning. How do you decide how the game goes?
Well, there's different pieces that have different jobs, but when you really put your mind on it to really get into the game, you understand it more and more, and you'll get better at it as you play.
And the girls actually got into chess because of Shane. Shane's very active in chess, so he may have a better
Yeah, I've been playing chess for years. Chess is actually an old King's game. That's why it's called the Game of Kings. But basically, it's a strategy game where you have different pieces, like she said, that have different abilities. And it's a strategic game of taking the other person's pieces and keeping yours. So, and also the foresight and to see what that other person is planning to attack you. So it's a mind game. So it's a lot of fun. I've been playing it for years. So it's
only making their minds stronger.
Yeah. And it learns
it helps them think in different dynamics.
Yeah. It teaches you to be patient. Because every person has their own strategy, and they need to think about if they play this, what will happen. So you have to have a lot of patience in this game, and that's I wasn't patient at all. But then during this game, not only is it a fun game, but it teaches me something.
Well, when you say patience, are you using patience when you do cheerleading? Is that a game that you have to have perfected to the degree that you have to include patience?
Yes, because every person learns differently and catches on differently. So if they don't understand something and you do, you have to be patient so that everyone in the sport understands so that you can perfect it.
Okay, and thus causing fewer accidents.
Yes.
Because I've seen the games where sometimes, I don't know if it's without focus or what, but sometimes things happen, accidents, children fall, some get hurt. But what you're saying is that when you pay close attention, that would probably narrow down the idea that they'll be having accidents. Okay, thank you, Haven. Now, including that, okay, now we want to talk about the values. What makes you you, what makes you you, and what makes you you and yourself. We already explained that I gave you definite terms as defined by Webster to the meaning of the word value, and he said that it was having desirable or esteemed characteristics or qualities. And with that, I want to know about your ethics. Who would like to start? I could be very specific by saying, how do we learn about it? How do we learn our character, our principles, our ethics, who we are?
I think it starts with the parents. It's very important within our family. We, as far as the ethics and values, we believe that honesty is a virtue, and that hard work is going to get you there. So that's kind of what we try. And Shante and I are both on the same page as far as that goes. Teaching the girls about responsibility.
Yeah, I think you said it right. We both come in with the same type of values that religion is important to us.
Yeah.
Our faith in God is important. Our faith in having a productive family is important. Our faith in having children that are leaders and not followers are important to us. So therefore, we instill those same type of beliefs in our kids.
And okay, hey, regarding values, how do you believe that we learn? And Haley, I'm going to ask you the same question. How do you believe we learn what we know?
Well, everybody learns from their mistakes. So if you try something and you don't succeed at it, you could find new ways, and you could do different things, or you could do the same thing, but in a different way, so that whatever you're trying to succeed at, you can make that goal by trying new ways.
Okay, and I agree with that. Haley, you want to add something to that?
Well, you do learn from your mistakes, and you never give up. You keep trying until you get it right.
Okay, I like that. Thank you, Haley. Okay, now, the next question I'd like to pose to you guys is, who should teach the values? You mentioned, the Stonemans mentioned, mother and father mentioned that their values in their home are taught here in the home. It begins here. But who do you think, even in part, should share in the responsibility of promoting moral values?
Well, not only should it come from us, but we depend a lot upon teachers to help reiterate good values, as well as coaches and people who are in leader position, and correct, and most of all, importantly, our family. If we're all on the same page, then our children are obviously not with us 24/7. They're in the care of other adults.
Absolutely.
So we do depend a lot upon those adults to teach our kids values as well.
And they're also on their own a lot with just their friends, so that's why it's more important to teach, equally as important to teach these values, like we said about leadership, so that they are setting the examples with their friends, making the right choices, instead of falling into peer pressure and making foolish or destructive choices.
Yeah.
Are there any models, speaking of making right choices, are there any models or any sayings or any expressions that you guys reinforce?
Yes.
Every morning we tell them.
Every morning before the girls get out the truck, before they go to school, we say,
Make smart choices.
Oh, okay, I
or,
like that.
what about the one about a dare?
Don't give a dare, don't take a dare.
Ah, that's a new one. I've never heard that one. Okay. Now, here's the next question I'd like to pose on you guys, and you can answer it individually or collectively. How will those moral values help us in life? How can we use those values that we call good values or positive values? How can we use those in life to help us even exceed or to help someone else?
Well,
How are moral values going to be used?
The moral values are very important with relationships. I mean, everything you do in life, you have relationships, whether they're personal or professional. If you have a good ethic background, people will continue to want a relationship with you. When you run out of relationships, that's when you're in trouble. Business and
would agree
professional.
to that.
So
Because-
another thing that we try to teach the girls is
Mhm.
do unto others as you would have done unto you. If you give respect, you receive respect.
That's what I was
If you
going to
demand
ask.
respect, you're probably not going to get it.
That's what I was going to ask you. I was going to also include that. Not only do you have to use good values and good moral judgment, people are watching you constantly to see if those ideas are being implicated. They're watching the way you talk. They're watching the way you walk, the way you dress, the way you relate to others. They form an opinion about you, and thus that's their opinion of your moral values, but everybody has one. Okay, now, somebody has to know this. Tell me about a time when no moral values were used, or either we forgot or we didn't apply them properly, or we could have done something a little different. Can anyone, I'll let you think about that for a second.
Yeah.
I'm sure we all have a small little story.
Or that maybe something happened and it triggered something in your mind. You know what? I want to use better moral values. I want to escalate from the norm of values that I was using.
Well, for me, and I don't know, I guess there's been certain sorts of situations where I've let anger take control and I regret that, so.
Okay.
But, there's times when I should exercise more patience.
More patience. I like that Haven mentioned that earlier about having patience, and that would be sort of what she said was it would be a foundation of who she is a patient person.
She is very patient.
And Haven and I have just recently gone through a issue with jealousy among another cheerleader being directed at Haven, and this was our first time experiencing that. So,
Wow. There's
How did
jealousy
you
among
handle
young
that?
people.
Yeah.
Well, tell me,
Well,
how did you detect that was jealousy, or what gave you the understanding or the know-how to title it jealousy?
Well, it's just she had been gone for a while, and then everyone didn't go to her like how it used to. Like everyone didn't revolve around her, and we made our own little friends. We started to bond, and she came back, and everyone still liked her. She just felt like everyone didn't like her as much, and she wasn't the center of attention. Yeah.
Oh, a star was born.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that was the jealousy.
Yes, and then when other people would try to be with other people and not always about her, she would try to get into whatever they were saying and be nosy, and if they did something that she didn't